Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Noir Bar. Yes, it is giggly and hilarious in here. I agree, Far. And if you can't tell, joining me is...
I know I'm reading chat. I'm sorry.
And Far is joining me, if you can't
Or
tell.
in the bar while Monkey is distracted playing with Trash Can, the retarded horse. Yes.
Yeah, I was reading...
Sorry.
I was listening into the discussion into the lineup outside the bar, and it's... Alex is having a bad morning, Eagle says. Why is that? I saw that he was streaming for a minute, and I'm like, well, you know what? I don't like streaming against friends, but we set ours up first. It's not my fault. Is he streaming with Monkey? Are they both playing Red Dead?
No, Monkey's playing Red Dead then.
Yeah, well, Eagle says, I think he's doing a game stream. I mean, I know Monkey is, but... Yeah, anywho. So, welcome one and all to another Yule-Tidian Noir Bar. How's your Christmas season going so far, Far?
I'd rather not think about it.
Do you hate Jesus that much?
It's not a hating Jesus thing. It's a... Oh shit, am I going to be able to do all these things?
Oh, you are far behind on your stuff still, huh?
No, this is something else that I'm not going to talk about.
All right.
On here.
All right.
We can talk about that later, but it's like, it's not buying presents or shit like that. I have that. That's fine. I'm all good this year.
Brian Wilson says, Polly,
Did not forget to get a present for my dad, so it's fine.
Wait a minute, you forgot previously to get a present for your dad?
Well, here's the thing. Usually, gifts for people with this, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's more of a joke of we've forgotten Father's Day a couple of times, so.
Oh my God. He didn't forget to go to work to get food for the table, did he? Ungrateful children.
No, but it's... To be honest, I forget Mother's Day as well. The only reason we ever do anything though is because Dad is always hounding us about Mother's Day.
Your dad just sounds like a better and better man the more stories I hear. It just... Like, you gotta tell me a story about him,
Mother's
like...
Day. He's the only one who cares. It's like...
You gotta tell some horrible story about your dad, because every story you tell makes him sound like an ace of a guy. It's like, well, when he was...
Pushed me down a hill to ski when I was 12.
Oh, you know what's funny about that? I was just about to say, did he teach you to swim by, like, throwing you in the ocean or something? Like, I was looking for a horror.
We went skiing once, right? And it was one of those situations, I was 12, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I've seen people ski on TV all the time. Right? Right, and this is like the first one we've ever seen snow as well, so it's like, awesome, snow! And snow had already been a bit of a disappointment, because it was hard snow, and I had not realised there was a difference between soft and hard snow.
Big difference.
So, like, it felt... Yeah, no, so it felt like already my dreams were crushed. Snow was not white and fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I guess skiing will be fine. So we get the skis, get on top of the hill, and I'm standing up there, and it's like, it's not that big a hill, but for a 12-year-old, it's pretty fucking big. And I'm just looking down at it, I'm like, I'm not going down this. I regret everything. and I'm like, and Dad was the one, only other person that went to get ski stuff. And he was like, all ready to do it. He's pumped. He's like, no, what are you talking about? We're going to do this. We're going to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. And it just shoves me down the hill.
Nice.
And it was fine until I got to the bottom where one of the skis caught on something on the ice and I fucked my knee up. So...
I was half expecting you to say someone's ski pole hit you in the head. Usually when you're talking about sports, something's hitting you in the head.
No. It was like just one of the skis got caught on something in the ice and toppled over, and knee was just fucked.
Oh, wow. Right off the bat. Thank you very much, Unholy Reaper. And got the sexiest completely naked meme that I've got, or video clip that I've got. Sorry, I can't talk when I look at that. Oh, man. Ava Green, completely naked in a bed with a cigarette, leaning forward, saying, come join me in bed. It's so attractive. Anyway, Unholy Reaper, thank you very much for the big tip. Just getting back from the gym. So give me the usual barkeep, a double 4 roses on the rocks. You know what? I happened to have my eye. I was at the liquor store today, and I was looking at the Four Roses, and I thought, one of my patrons is always buying Four Roses, but I didn't want to buy the regular, and the fancy single barrel was like, frankly, right the hell out of my price range, so I didn't go for that. You know what I got instead?
What'd you get?
Chat, don't judge me, all right? I got the Wild Turkey.
Okay.
It's
that's bad because
it's not bad, but people that are high flouting and blah 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 call that crappy bourbon, and it's like, hey, listen, it's better than Jim Beam, and it's better than the no-name crap, and it's certainly better than buying, depending on where you're at, what they're going to call it, like rail whiskey or whatever, like just like the house whiskey, and they refer to it as bourbon, and it's actually a shit mix of corn whiskey, rye, and whatever the fuck else that they had at the distillery. You know what I mean? Four Roses is even more expensive in my market where I live than Wild Turkey is. But Wild Turkey's American, and you want to know why it's particularly American far?
Why?
Because turkeys are native to America. That's why.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, Eagle says I'm not a fan of Wild Turkey. I hear you. I'd prefer if you've never tried Wild Turkey single barrel, it's every single whiskey that you know of, every single bourbon that you know of. If they were to go into their aging warehouse and select the best barrels and barrel it up as a special edition, it would blow your mind. They're blending like 500, 1,500, 2,000 barrel batches to produce product of a given quality such that they can sell it at a reasonable price, that they can still stay in business. You know what I mean? So regular 101 proof, 40.5 proof, 40.5% alcohol by volume Wild Turkey. It's pretty good flavor. It's pretty good bang for the buck. So, but yeah, thank you very much on Holy Reaper. Greatly appreciated. Which Wild Turkey? 81, 101? The 81. I said 101. I meant the 81. 101's better. Wild Turkey, rare breed. That's the single barrel that I was thinking of. Not single barrel, rare breed that Duck Dog just mentioned. It's outrageously good. It's like, who pasted this Wild Turkey label upon this beautiful bottle of bourbon? You know, because it's so good. You think it can't possibly have come from the Turk, but it did. Like I said, if they're blending for quality, they can pull off some amazing stuff. Now, I gotta say, what the hell is someone going to explain to me what Alex is screaming about?
I stream just to check, and I'm not seeing any screaming. I'm seeing him watch some other dude's video.
Like Brenda says, can we pray for Alex or something?
Yeah,
it's
yeah. Because I was seeing enough of these, he's screaming and screaming, and I'm like, okay, I gotta check this out, and I see nothing. And it's not like you can. He's got it set so you can't really go back in the stream either to see what he was on about.
Right.
So until he's done, I guess, if he leaves it up.
Actually, chat, you guys are the patrons. You answer me a question. I'm curious. The ability to go back in a chat that Far just referred to, I forget what it's technically called inside a Creator Studio. You can turn that off, and it'll decrease latency time. Meaning, I'll see your messages faster, etc. There won't be as much of a delay. But it also means you can't go back if you miss something. Like, what the fuck was it that Polly just said? You want to go back 30 seconds? You can't do that. You can only hear what's live. Would you rather have it live with less latency? Or, fuck, who cares about the latency? I want to be able to go back when I want to. See what I'm saying? I don't know. Eve does it for no latency, but she's gaming. You know what I mean? It's more important. And Alex is just a performance nut, so he's like, fuck people being able to go back. I know some people they join streams 20 minutes late and they go back to the beginning because they're not going to be reading chat. They got their phone in their pocket because they're at work or they're doing something and it's in the background. Razor Fist Arcade, for example. I'm a big fan of Razor Fist's Friday, Saturday gaming streams. I rarely watch the chat because it moves so fast. You know what I mean? I've got it on in the background, and if I come in half an hour late, I reset it to the beginning and listen. And if you had it set up to do that, Yeah, ex-Bubba Hotep depends on the stream. Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. Okay, so apparently Alex had people trying to dox him?
What? Yeah, Brenda, right there. That guy is gonna dox him. Which guy?
Wait, so... Well, over Shani. That guy's gonna dox him over Shani. Oh my god. Shani shit still continues.
Right? Like, of all things to...
Oh my god. Shani. Oh, Jesus. I don't think we could even say anything about it that hasn't already been said. I really don't.
You know what I find the most obnoxious thing about her? Is that it's Shani for Christ. Oh, fuck off.
Oh, God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, what? Nothing.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Like, once you start putting shit like that, even, like, anything to do with that. Like, if it's Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, atheism even, the minute you put anything like that in a name, you're kind of leaning towards, level of things, right?
But yeah, I mean, but there's some people that, like, unless you're deeply religious, you're gonna find their channels or their Twitter really boring, because it'll be like, I don't know, whoever, Jim Bob for Christ. Yeah, because everything they tweet out is Bible verses and prayers and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Shani?
people,
The only thing I've heard from...
in that.
Yeah.
There's going to be other people doing that.
Right.
That's it.
And that makes sense. I've never heard anything from Shani but anger, racism, denouncement, psychosis. When does the Christ part start?
I have heard of quoting things before. Like quoting like Bible verses, but it's usually in between one of the things you just listed, like her being a racist or her just being a general piece of shit.
Yeah, and Holy Reaper says, what, someone gonna dox Alex over a fat bitch? Sounds like it. Which is reason enough for him to be ranting and fucking angry, because...
Yeah, I would be pretty pissed if that was happening to me. It's like, holy shit, am I really gonna be doxed over a fucking lol cow?
Yeah, like, Brenda's like, she's a very hateful person.
Life,
yeah.
Like, that's a pretty, like, low point in your life you're gonna be doxed over.
Yeah.
Like, really. Like, of all the things...
Like, for it to come down over some fat woman who's just online to spill anger
and hate
and came on to Alex's radar because he wouldn't do a video on Onision recently, even though he already had previously. Like, what are you gonna add some stuff upon what Chris Hansen's doing professionally? Come on.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, she actually originally came up on his radar because of oh god, one of the Foodie Beauty, I think it was. Like, she was, like, trying to defend her and that whole drama. That's how it originally started. Only reason it became onto Shani's radar was because he made a video. And then she took it the wrong way.
Oh, my second favorite pop-up. Thank you very much for the tip, Jack Polly. He says, Far. This is for you, Far. I read this through. This is great. You're gonna love this. You are way too nice for letting your sidekick appear to be running the show. Guess I will play along with the gimmick.
Sure. Right, that's what's going on. Right. It's me totally screaming, like, fuck this, fuck having a potato for a computer,
yeah.
Trying to set up a stream.
Shh, yeah. Jack Polly, shut up. Everyone was buying it.
Oh, Jesus.
Everyone thought it was my bar. Quiet. You're ruining.
But it was me all along.
You're ruining the shtick. What is this? Alex played a video of Shani getting arrested. Whoa.
Yeah, I was reading that before. It's like, she got arrested? Like,
whoa.
Holy fuck. Like, what did she get arrested for?
I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark here. I could be wrong. But something to do with outstanding warrants or fines or unpaid something or other. That's my guess.
I want to bet some kind of domestic dispute. Just knowing from watching Alex's videos on her. Just a hunch.
Okay. So, far as her figurative money on domestic something, domestic squabble, possibly involving violence, but some kind of kerfuffle.
She called the cops on her hubby for hitting her.
And Far wins it. And Far wins it. Well done.
I shouldn't be laughing over this, but like, holy fuck, I got it. I'd like to thank my mother for believing in me.
Nicely done. Nicely done. I could have sworn it was for something money related because she's constantly having fights with people over money or her whole thing.
But like she's cold. Yeah, but like she has like a history of like not being the nicest to her husband, you know.
This is
and like they have called the cops before. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. So it's kind of like
that's a weird story Brenda's telling. It's like.
But she hit him first. They arrested her.
And
she had no underwear on. Oh, shit. So you're telling me this land whale hit her husband first, all the while she's not wearing any underwear or shoes?
Please tell me she was wearing a very long shirt, like a t-shirt.
Yeah, or like a dress.
Or a dress, yeah, some kind of.
I would prefer that. I don't really want to know how you know she has no underwear on, but I have a feeling it's not any of the things we suggested. People were able to tell she had no underwear.
Oh, this is an old video. Someone got the vid for Alex through FOIA for a Freedom of Information Act request.
Oh shit! So this is an old video.
Yeah, because FOIA takes a while.
No,
that's why I'm saying that.
Okay.
Unless this is some kind of like a hyper fast Freedom of Information Act request.
No. I have a feeling this is actually really similar to what he brought up in one of the videos.
And so
because this sounds really familiar.
So does anybody know who the person is that's threatening Alex? Like just some buddy of Shanty's?
Yeah.
That's what we gotta call her, Shanty.
Shanty?
Yeah, like a shanty town, you know?
Yeah, no, I
broken down, decrepit.
I had a feeling that's what you're saying.
It happened.
Oh, okay, it happened in August.
Jesus.
Yeah, Alex played it like 2 days ago.
Let me see. Jack Polly, thank you again for the tip. What the fuck? He says. How did they take her? What did they take her to jail in? A fucking dump truck of some kind? Well,
they just stuck her in the boot and they just went, here we go.
Have any of you guys ever seen what they have to do for extremely fat dudes or fat women or muscular guys when they can't get the handcuffs around their extremely thick wrists? They have to use 2 handcuffs and interlock them together for each side and then interlock the chains together.
Oh, Jesus.
So you need multiple pairs of handcuffs? Or just they'll use, if they're using zip ties, and most cops have access to zip ties now because they're just, hard nylon, right?
Yeah,
they just zip a number of them. Yeah, they just zip a number of them together and create like big, huge loops for their fat ass wrists.
Jesus.
I wanted to just throw something up here. This is.
They didn't use 2 cuffs on her. God.
Look at this. This is the. Oops, it's way off screen. This is the long branch that
oh my God.
The Duck Dog was talking about. Just the bottle looks fantastic. This is the Wild Turkey Long Branch, minimum 8-year-old, small batch bourbon. I didn't even know they did this. I want to try it. I even like the look of the bottle. Looks fucking great. Yeah, I made a little note off to the side. That's probably also out of my price range. But Christmas is coming. And I have...
Yeah, someone might buy it for you.
Yeah.
Not me, though.
Moonshock says, howdy, folks. Hey, bartender, give me a drink. I'm at work and I need something to help me forget. Let me tell you guys a story of drinking at work.
Oh, no.
What? Hold on. You don't know what the story is yet. I
have a bad feeling.
Just moving this back here so we can do the double screen share later. See, my work is on a campus, and I don't know if you guys knew it, but many grad students are drunks. And,
You don't say.
yeah, I do say. And we all keep bottles, like, well, those of us who are drinkers all keep bottles and such in our desks. You would be amazed how much drinking goes on throughout the day in grad students' offices. And it's, if you've ever watched Mad Men, that's the closest analogy that I can make to the kind of drinking that goes on. It's not like, hey, come on in here. You know, hey, Frankie, come here, man. Come on, you know, let's tie one on and get shit-faced. It's never like that. It's just steady drinking throughout the day. It's just what we do. It's, yeah. We all have flasks. It's, well, there used to be
is this like a cry for help?
What do you mean?
Like, you're drinking throughout the day. What are you drinking for? To forget that you're on a campus? You're never escaping school?
Keep going and you might trip across the answer. We're on a campus, and what is it we would be trying to forget?
SJWisms.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm done all of my seminar work, like my class work for my doctoral program, right? It's the comprehensive exams and research proposals, individual research studies in my dissertation. That's the stuff I have before me now. I never drank when I was going to class, or if I'm going to teach a class, I'm not drinking. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Professor Dub up in front of the class being like, guys, you know, I was just about to make a joke about blurting something out to a student. I remember it was only 2 years ago that I openly, jokingly referred to a student as a Marxist in class. I would never do that now. Out of fear of it going horribly wrong. Because my personality, when I'm teaching a class or I'm doing a tutorial as a TA-ship. I mean, I said Professor Dub is a joke. I'm totally not a professor. I'm not an associate professor. I'm not even an instructor. Grad students just have the opportunity to take on sessional instructorships, which just means you're teaching this one semester only on contract. And then the next semester, if you're lucky enough to get that opportunity again, it's a whole new contract that you're filling out. Like that sort of thing, right? It means there's a first or second year undergrad course that's available to be taught. They don't have anyone else to fill the spot, so they start asking doctoral students who have finished all their coursework if they'd like to teach it. And it has to be generally within your area of expertise. Like you have to have some clue what you're talking about, obviously.
Well, yeah. You would hope so.
Ryan Walter says, hey, Polly. Hey, Paul. Oh, hey, Pop-Tart's here. Hey, Pop-Tart. I remember joking around like my demeanor in front of a class is not all that different than it is here. There's just less cussing. You know what I mean? I like cracking jokes. I like having a good time, right? And it gets really far into like international relations theory or history or political science theory, whatever it is we're doing. And one student made this comment about collective value of economies. And I said, that's the second time you've brought that up. What are you, a Marxist? And I said it just like that, like false, fake, fun accusation. And it got a laugh. And it's got to read your audience. And I was just cracking a joke. I wouldn't do that anymore. That's how much things have changed in terms of the vibes on campus. At least mine in the last couple of years. Because I could see somebody going, that created an unsafe learning environment. I happen to be a Marxist into blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, no, I can see exactly why you'd stop doing that shit.
You know what I mean? And
as sad as that is, because it's like, that sounds like it'd be really fucking fun. Because that sounds really similar to how, my modern history classes went in high school. Like, the guy running it, he was a complete conspiracy theorist. So he would kind of slip in sometimes into some of the stuff, but he was also just a really fun guy.
Right.
Yeah, so it just the same sort of vibe, you know, of just like, just the jokes and shit. But, yeah, like, that just sucks.
Yep.
Because it seems like a really good way to learn the subject as well if you're having fun with it.
And I remember during a tutorial, because this is what those tutorials are for. They're not necessarily for new material instruction. They're tutoring, hence the name, right? So you're going over previous material. And this one student asked me about what do I think of feminist theory? And I said, I think the most interesting stuff, and this was an honest answer, I think the most interesting stuff coming out of feminist theory right now in political science is happening in institutional theory. I said, third wave feminism has gone beyond the pale. Late second wave feminism, in my opinion, is where it's at. And she goes, how so? What's wrong with third wave? And I said, well, late second wave is when the questioning began of what is it we're calling feminism, when the introspection started, and is saying this is what a woman should be doing, and now projecting that upon other cultures. Well, maybe they don't feel that way. This is what later on became known as white feminism, instead of like online circles and really far gone cultural Marxism, when they took it so far that you're white and you're talking about feminism. Well, that's privileged white feminism and doesn't really have a place here. This was pre-intersectional feminism. And it's like, it was the one time it was the time when feminism began to look at itself, the theorists, and say, does it really make sense to set up institutions that would benefit Western women? Would it benefit women in Asia? Would it benefit women in the Middle East, in traditional African cultures in the same way? Or are we setting up something that's doomed to fail because all of the institutions around it will not support it and none of the women there want it? I mean, this is cultural colonialism that feminists are constantly complaining about. And this was them saying it. I'm like, that was the really interesting stuff. When theories get introspective, what is it we're saying? That's worthwhile. I would never make that argument to a student now. Never. Never. A straight cis white male talking to any woman, be it a woman of color or a white woman, telling them what they thought about feminism. Oh my God. I have the deepest fear they'd be marching off to the fucking, I was about to say to the departmental office, but they'd probably go right to the faculty to complain.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That just really sucks, because then it's like you can't even, if someone ever asks that, you can't give them a legitimate answer. Where if you gave them the answer, it could probably actually help them, but because of that fear,
you dodge it.
And because you dodge it.
And that's what I have ended up doing.
It's really such a shame.
Yeah, well.
Really?
Academic freedom's a fantasy, unless you have tenure.
Yeah, fair.
And then once most professors have, not most, that's overly harsh. I would say 60+% of professors, once they have tenure, they stop producing new original research because their position is secured. Yeah, they stop working.
James Colley. Yeah, I don't know if I had Jack as a professor. This was high school, not a uni. They weren't professors in high school. But I don't know if it was kind of like Jack, I guess, except he kind of vaguely actually believed in some of them.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, like, to what extent, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
The Pop-Tart asked, which brought a funny image to mind. What are you gonna do? Just run if they ask? I just pictured myself doing that. It's like, so what do you think is the worst thing about intersectional feminism? Hey, what's that over there? Gotta go.
No, I just imagine you not even saying anything, not a word. You just turn around, you walk out of the room. It's like, nope, not even worth it.
Yeah. No, it's what do I think is the worst thing about it? You when you're instructing a class that's completely different than a tutorial, the students should not really be able to tell what your opinion is unless they're really paying attention and doing some subtextual reading on what you're saying. If you're very good at what you're doing, they shouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember the one student saying, well, I disagree with your really strong federalism. And that made me feel really good because I'm not a strong federalist. I'm a weak federalist and a strong states' rights person. But he misunderstood because we were covering the Federalist Papers at the time. And because I was arguing what the Federalist Papers were arguing, it sounded like I myself was trying to trumpet that position. And I was like, ha! Mission accomplished. Old Gamer Guy says, morning, Mr. Polly. I tweeted you a link to an app for a world clock yesterday. Well, I haven't slept yet, so that's still today. And I did see it, but I didn't have a chance to go take a look as of yet. I was...
Yeah, maybe you should. And then you'll finally realize, oh yes, it is so easy to tell the time difference.
Yeah.
Between you and Western Australia.
Yeah. So, James Colley says, remember your Batman, throw a smoke bomb. I need to get on some like 1989 Tim Burton Batman shit. He's right. Throw a smoke bomb and then remember his like batarang that was like a reel that would just pull him up into the ceiling. I need to leave the ceiling.
It has to be all auto thing. It's just like shit, throw the clam up, go up. Like instead of a batarang, it's a clam.
Yeah. Well, Moonshock just retracted his statement. I'm curious to see if he's going to return it. Because it said something to the effect of George Washington was a Federalist. He was a weak Federalist, but he was not a member of the Federalist Party. They were founded in his name after the fact. George Washington was the only party unaffiliated president. Yet another reason George Washington fucking rocks. He refused to sign up with parties. As a matter of fact, repeatedly warned that, get this, parties will be the destruction of our republic. Huh. It's, yeah. Well, George Washington was a Federalist, the only president to be one. That's not true, Moonshock. John Adams was a Federalist. There were many Federalists. Well, John Adams most certainly was one. Throw the clam up, LOL, OMG, I just thought vagina's there. Yeah, throw that pussy in the air. Yep, that's how that works. Right. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Pop-Tart thinks that vaginas look like angry clams. I've disagreed with her on this on many occasions. I'm still not trying to fuss my follow. Yeah, anyway, so I'm just kind of talking in circles, waiting to hear an update on what's going on with Alex over there. I'm a little worried about the poor guy. Yeah, so apparently the guy that I saw him watching the video of is called G-Man. Okay. I think. And, the guy, Alex, is G-Man, and he's carrying on about being a Christian. Man, this group of people's gonna talk about giving Christianity a bad name, man. Well, it's not like they can. Well, Moonshock says too much worse than people already think of it. No need to apologize, because what they might have been saying is that he was somebody who believed he was a Federalist, like a weak Federalist, and what that means is just there should be a government federally that is stronger than the Articles of Confederation allowed for. So thus was a Federalist? Yes. Was he a Federalist in the way that oh god. There were some super strong Federalists like that wanted the states to have virtually no power. Let me think who would be the best example of that. Oh, what's his name? Not Madison. Madison was a pragmatist hardcore. Oh, fuck the fucking musicals around him. What's his name? His name slipped my mind right now. Lincoln? Yes, the Lincoln musical, Far. No. Well, I don't fucking know. I'm Australian. Yeah, you get a pass. Hamilton? Thank you, Hamilton. Hamilton was pushing for an elected king. He wanted so much power concentrated in the federal government. And at the Constitutional Convention, when they said, fuck off, you're trying to create an American monarchy, he literally did fuck off. He packed up all of his shit and went back to New York. He was not there for the rest of the Constitutional Convention. But then, strangely enough, he brings on two people that are in fervent disagreement with each other. Thomas Jefferson, who was a huge states' rights guy, and Hamilton, who was a huge Federalist guy, to be both his, Secretary of the Treasury and Secretary of State, respectively. You know why? Because Washington wanted the two extremes as the two most powerful positions in his cabinet, so he could form a balance between them. Can you imagine that happening today?
Nope.
No, I'm going to bring on everyone who completely agrees with me 100% of the way. Anyway, yeah, everybody call James Colley and Brenda and Jack Gunsky and Duck Dog. They're all like Hamilton, Hamilton, Hamilton. Yes, Hamilton.
That one musical I see everyone go fucking nuts for. That it's like I don't understand.
Lucky Pop-Tart, the clam bakes instead of sausage parties. That's funny, but still gross. They don't look like clams, Pop-Tart. For God's sake. It doesn't even make sense. And why angry clams? Yeah. So, we have a number of different things to cover here.
Yes, we do.
I am going to keep doing it until I let that go. I'm going to stop saying cover it. We're not the Young Turks pretending to be journalists here. We talk about things. We're having discussions. It's a bar. We're not covering shit. We're just opining and talking about it. Am I right?
Yeah, no, you're right.
And it's more fun that way, I think. It's like, oh, let's cover the news, and no, let's not. Yeah. Let's just talk about fun shit. Okay, there's a video that's going to autoplay, but I remembered this time to mute the browser, so you guys won't have to hear it.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought in advance. I'm just going to have to see it. Do you remember the story about the Santa Claus sweater from Walmart Canada that had Santa Claus snorting cocaine on it?
Yes, actually I do.
Yeah. So that sweater went on to sell a fuck ton on Amazon. Because it just equaled a bunch of free advertising for them, right? For the producers. Yeah. It's like they somehow got their sweater on at Brenda says, amen, I had enough news. Yeah. Sometimes it's best just to, I call it a chill stream for a reason. It's supposed to be like a laid back environment, man. Oh, by the way, do you notice how I got the band to play some laid back, bluesy, jazzy Christmas music? It's not just
I did before I had to mute it, so I didn't hear the echo.
How did you do that?
What? When the first thing appeared.
How are
the
you?
Opening thing.
How are you separately muting the music from my voice?
I'm not.
Oh, you don't even hear the music because we're in the Hangout together. See, I don't know. I see a bar in front of us, and I kind of picture us all in the same room together, and it's totally not that way.
That's so sweet, but oh, it's not how this is working.
Stop making fun of me.
No, I don't think I will.
Okay, hold on. This is... And where did I go to get some funny Christmas stories, you might ask? Where do you think I went for?
New York Post?
That's right, the New York Post! Because it is the greatest tabloid of the modern era. Wait a minute, Zombie Teddy says there's music playing. What music? Oh, fuck, you guys haven't been able to hear it this whole time? I can turn...
No, they're fucking with you. They're fucking with you.
You can absolutely hear it?
This music. Yeah.
You lying motherfuckers. I'm drinking back here, man. I'm apt to believe people. God damn it. What a bunch of dicks. All right, Moonshock. Yeah, you can lurk all you want. If you're at work, by all means, you want to listen in or go to work and then come back later. I think it's awesome that people...
I love now that pointed it out. Everyone's like, we can hear it, we can hear it. It's like...
Nice. You know, playing games with the drunk bartender is not funny. Okay, it's not okay. What I'm gonna do is share screen.
Okay.
And then share. There we go. here.
I kind of want this sweater, I'm not gonna lie.
There it is. So here's...
It's so funny.
Here, actually, let me expand that. We'll zoom in on it a little bit. Hello. Come on. Do it. Hello. What the hell's it thinking about? We're just going to give my browser a second to quit being potato-y. Potato-like. Potato-esque. Oh, so do you see how it's continuing to expand? It just decided to stop listening to me? Here, okay. Having potato issues, chat. It's fine. Everything's a go-go. We're just going to wait. There we go. Okay. There we are. Much larger sweater. So there's the original sweater that caused all the problems through Walmart Canada. You know what? You know what, motherfuckers? I'm going to blast the music. And then y'all going to regret complaining about it. Turn the music down. It's too goddamn loud. So there's the Santa sweater. But let's take a look at the other ones that they have to offer. After getting all the free advertising. There's the Rudolph one. Let it snow, let it snow. Very nice. Far. Yeah, did we lose Far? I think we did. All right, chat, we'll just hang out here until she gets back. I don't want to jump through the sweaters. Yay, baked potato, I'm hungry. You're not to eat my computer, Pop-Tart. Not okay. Ah, Deck Train said the, yeah, Far's left the call. Okay, Far must be having Australian internet problems, so we'll just wait for her to pop back in. And we all can hang out until then. Deck Train said the Top Gun Maverick trailer 2 just dropped. I heard the full-on trailer, not just the teaser one was dropped today. I don't give a fuck. I'm excited about this. That teaser trailer looked fucking awesome. You know, 45 or 50-year-old Maverick, and he's still a fucking pilot because he's refused to accept promotion? Okay, wait a minute. I'm already loving this. This is... It doesn't seem remotely woke. This is like a 80s throwback film. This looks cool. Yeah, Aussie Down is right. Actually, we've got two Aussie stories if Far ever comes back. We've got a story about a Australian bank robber, and one about how Australian weather's being used to promote fake science of climate change. You left because my music's obnoxious. Hey, Bearcock, you know that's not true. You got to tell stories that are at least halfway believable. Everybody loves the laid back, bluesy Christmas instrumentals, man. Everybody. And what happened to it? When the band go on a break? Music just went quiet. What the fuck? Come on. Oh, what the fuck, man? Okay, what am I missing here? The fuck happened to the band? I have to get technical. There's Far.
Hello?
Hello. We paused and waited for you to return.
Hello?
Hello. Hello, Far. Jesus Christ. Chat, could you hear her? Because I could hear her. I just don't think she could hear me. So she dropped out again on her own. And Zombie Teddy says the music is too loud. Really? Really? Because I can tell it's not even playing right now. That's Cole, man. Lying like that. Whoa, wait a minute. Deck Train, the pilot is Goose's son in that movie? Cool.
There we go. Hello.
Hello.
Holy shit.
Awesome, you're back. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Far, the music crapped out on me. I don't know what's going on.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, as soon as like the jumper stuff came up, it just started roboting out of me, and then it just went, what? Well, great.
Hmm. No. Oh. Don't use hardware acceleration. Run save changes. Keep them show. I want to show chat.
Oh yeah.
Just put it up on your screen. I'll be able to.
Yeah,
show it.
1 minute. On there. Not
That's
gonna lie.
great. Oh, Ex-Bubba Hotep
According to
said that.
Ex-Bubba Hoteps.
Okay. Written on withdrawal slips, demanding cash and warning that he was armed. No funny business, one of the notes read. Then he dumped the disguises and just walked back into the office, he told cops. McCarty said he needed the money to pay off gambling debts and cover living expenses. It kind of snowballed. The more I did, the worse I felt about the whole thing, and it was leading a double life. The only person he ever confessed his crimes to, apart from the detectives, was his Alcoholics Anonymous sponsor, who took the secret with him to the grave. He stopped robbing banks when he quit his gambling and got a really good job in 1979. McCarty was initially charged with 8 robberies. In total, $12,693 was stolen, usually between $1,000 and $2,000 at a time. Now, is that in 1978 dollars? Because that's not a small amount.
I don't know. I think in 1978 dollars.
2 of his charges were withdrawn last week, while another 4, for which he hasn't yet entered pleas, have been transferred to a different court. Again, how are you... The statute of limitations for robbery with no violence is like murder has an unending statute of limitations. 70 years later, you can still be charged. But like robberies? No, man, it taps out. Like state to state, it varies, but like 8 to 12 years, something like that. Anything beyond that? No dice.
I actually don't really know if we have a statute of limitations.
Ramen Noodles is firing shots at you.
What?
Australia isn't as civilized as the United States. It makes sense that they don't have that.
Boo.
Jack Gunsky is just impressed. God, this guy is amazing. I know, the drunken bank robber. And he was smart enough to not, like, I don't want to go into the vault to get money. I don't want to go into the drawers to get money. I just want as much money as the teller can give me out of her drawer right now. Bye. This was probably why he got away with it for so long. He never got greedy.
Yeah, I'm seeing that apparently we do have a statute of limitations, but I'm not really sure on what exactly. Because I think it is like a crime by crime basis.
Sure. Yeah, it is here too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think because it's like you're robbing a federal bank.
Oh, Duck Dog says bank robbery is a federal beef here. So okay, I get it.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on because it's like it's a federal bank. And it's one of those things where people can take that seriously. You know?
Yeah. Well, Farr sent me this story, which frankly I think sounds depressing, but let's see.
I thought it was kind of funny.
Well, let's see. Let's check it out. Italian city evacuated as soldiers remove World War II era bomb unearthed by construction crews.
Yeah. It's just sitting there underground.
An Italian city of more than 50,000 people, was evacuated on Sunday as experts worked to defuse a World War II bomb discovered by builders. A prison, 2 hospitals, and an airport were shut down and cleared out of Brindisi in Italy's south.
Yeah,
And more than 60% of the city's residents were forced out of the red zone, an area within 1.6 kilometer radius of the device. Authorities cut off the gas supply, made residents move their cars, and transported 217 prisoners to an alternate prison wing. Police drones flew above the deserted city to ensure no one was roaming the street and taking advantage of the evacuation to loot homes and shops.
Yep.
And those drones would have totally been able to stop them. Would you have Hellfire missiles on them? Local newspaper.
Yeah, you have to wonder. Like, what were they going to do?
Local newspaper,
Like, were they gonna-
Corriere della Sera Daily, said the operation was the biggest peacetime evacuation in Italy's history. The operation ended at 11:15 on Sunday. The 2 bomb disposal experts isolated the detonator and the fuse. Authorities planned to destroy the bomb in a controlled explosion in a quarry outside the city on Monday. It is believed the bomb was dropped on the city by the British when Italy was allied with Germany. Goddamn fascists.
I know, right? Like, wow, fuck you, fascists.
Authorities said it was 1 meter long, weighed about 200 kilograms, and contained about 40 kilograms of dynamite. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Construction crews found the bomb by chance on November 2nd while expanding a movie theater. At the time, Brindisi Mayor Riccardo Rosri Sandaco said the bomb would not explode unless it was interfered with, but it was slightly damaged during the building work, which complicated the defusing process. Unexploded bombs from World War II regularly turn up across Italy, France, Germany, and in London. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's the terrifying bit. That whole ending thing of like, yeah, they pop up all the time, you know? It's like, well, shit, man. Because then they show you a picture of one of the bombs that did go off, and thankfully it was in a field, you know, but no people were. But it's like, it's a fucking massive radius.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrifying. It's like, this is like, oh yeah, dynamite, yada yada yada. But that's like, no, dynamite is really bad, you know?
Yeah.
Like, look at that.
Yeah, man.
Like, that's not like a small hole. That is fucking massive.
It's the explosion blasted a large crater in a German cornfield. You blew up some guy's corn?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Dynamite is for
German
assholes.
corn,
RDX
too.
or nothing. Yeah, German corn.
Yeah.
Really harsh, orderly corn.
Yeah, you killed German corn?
means that the heat has been able to build up over the inland, excuse me.
Inland.
Yeah. With little disturbance from cold fronts. I don't know. I think I'm going to trust the meteorologist on this rather than the...
Yeah, fun fact, I don't know if you knew this, Polly, but Australia gets hot in the summer.
I've heard that.
This isn't unusual.
I've seen those.
We have had fires for many years now around this time of the year. Remember the bushfires in Victoria?
I've seen
It's nothing new, guys. Come on.
Well, I've seen the thermographic imaging of Australia from above, and it aggregated over a 10-year period, and the center of Australia is like a living hellscape. I remember it was at 55 degrees, like 55 degrees Celsius. I'd have to do the math on that, but that's fucking hot. Like, I mean,
no, it is. Like, I've seen weather maps, like, as a joke, but they're real weather maps, right? And people use these in memes, and it's like they had to invent new colors on the weather map to demonstrate how fucking hot it is. Like, this is nothing new.
Okay, but check this.
None of this.
Why is this so worrying? Australia being hot is nothing new, particularly at this time of year. But there's a real chance that
shit!
There's a real chance that the next few days could see the country's all-time hottest day on record broken. The start of 2013 was the hottest day on record for the country, with the average daytime temperatures reaching between 40.3 and then 40.1. If Australia's record is broken, it'll join many other countries in having the hottest day of the year. Many? You fucking weasels at the UK Independent? You fucking cowards? How many? What are their numbers? Your random... Because what follows sounds like a load of bullshit to me. Further proving that the Earth's climate is spiraling dangerously out of control! No. Okay.
No, using Australia as your basis for climate change, not a good idea. Saying.
Look what they put at the bottom. Really? You fuckers, really?
Yeah.
The "this is fine" meme? Really?
Yeah, but they got an animated GIF of it. Although I have a feeling that AC Green, the guy that drew that, would probably be okay with this, because he seems like this kind of guy.
Well, I am drunk. So drunk.
Just the sad part of it.
Get up.
But
really quick, thank you, Ex-Bubba Hotep, for the tip. They always leave out how long the record is. Good call. Good fucking call. Now, what annoys me most? I said there was a video at top here, right? You know what the video they attached to this story was with the headline that the Australian weather forecast that should terrify the world? You know what the video was? It was a 30-second clip of Greta Thunberg speaking at the UN.
Yep. And that's what confused me when you first brought it up. Because you're talking about this, and I'm going, okay. And there's Greta fucking Thunberg. And I'm thinking, was she the one saying, like, Australia is hot, so climate change?
No.
No, it's just a clip they decided to play at the front of it.
I love Gil Cotto's comment here. The Earth's climate was in control? Right?
Yeah, right?
I mean, that sums the whole thing up right there. Well said. I mean, come on. You make it sound like the Earth's entire biosystem is extremely static. Anything but.
It's not.
It's highly variable. It's incredibly dynamic.
Yeah. It has changed. And it's going to continue to change. Maybe we sped up the process, but whether or not if we ever intervened or not, it was going to change.
Actually, that story just bugged the hell out of me. It's like you're using memes and Greta Thunberg, and the clip was her, not the one where she's like, "How dare you?" Not that one. It was one where she's standing up at a podium and she's talking about, here's all of the nice things that everybody says that they're doing, that the wealthiest countries are doing, but of course it's not enough, right? It doesn't count for shipping and airline flights and all of the ways that wealthier nations can transfer their carbon production onto less wealthier nations through the purchase of carbon credits. Okay, let me tell you something. This is my opinion alone. You all are fucking cowards at the independent UK. You're a bunch of fucking cowards because you never call out China and India, the largest contributors by far. And you never fucking mention it because you're a bunch of fucking cowards. Greta Thunberg, fuck you too, you miserable 16-year-old coward. Oh, well, you shouldn't really talk like that to children. You're being used horribly. And if you think you're on the right path by calling out the people that are doing bad things, you're being lied to. So you're either too stupid to realize you're being lied to and used by those shielding China and India from your sight as the worst aggressors to planet-wide pollution, etc., that you're so concerned about, or you do know it and you just don't want to say it. And so let's blame Australia. Like the UK independence, calling out Australia here anyway, as the more proof that the world's climate is spiraling out of control. Oh, get fucking bent.
Yeah, leave my country out of this. Like, we're having enough problems with fucking fires everywhere. We don't need this shit. Don't use my country's weather as a determining factor of, yes, the climate and its change. This is happening. Like, it's so fucking dumb. Yeah, Australia's hot and fires happen.
Thank you for putting
what else?
My Streamlabs and Bar's super cool merch shop in chat over and over again. The links to them. Thank you, Expo Hotep. Much appreciated. And
Yes,
if you wanted to tip your friendly, time-traveling, and extremely poor bartender, that's me. The link's right there. And if you want to go check out Far's wicked cool merch, the link's right there as well.
Yes, buy my shit.
Buy her shit.
Yeah.
So did you, what do you want to do now? You want to do a Christmassy story? Or do you want to do a fun WikiHow? Because I've got 3 different hot WikiHows.
Oh shit. Well, I feel like I want to do a WikiHow. I want to move on from being angry at people using my country for shitty reasons.
I offered you Christmas and WikiHow. Why'd you go to WikiHow to get away from people angry?
Because WikiHow is fun. Christmas makes me confused. All the Christmas stuff you have, it just leaves me feeling confused and not sure how to take the information. But WikiHow, I might be confused, yeah, but at least I'm laughing.
Oh, RVA Dar just triggered my second favorite pop-up. The one of Jessica Alba and her stripper noir gear taking a slug out of a bottle of vodka. Fuck, I love that clip. Anyway, thank you very much for the tip, RVA Dar. Polly, the climate hoax is about control and not about the environment. Also, Western Australia rocks.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for the tip. Very much appreciated. Okay, so let me see. What are our? Okay, I've got options. All right. How to cast a spell with sample spells included. Okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah. 3 ways to cast a love spell. Huh? Or finally, how to perform a money spell.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Well, come on.
Spell into WikiHow?
Well, I saw the love spell and I'm like, oh god, really? And so I typed in how to spell and I just wanted to see how many would come up, and those were the 3 funniest by far.
Oh my god. I don't know which one to choose. I kind of want to see like the ones that have like example test spells.
Yeah, I mean,
out of curiosity of like what the.
Oh, sure, you don't want to know the love spell because you already have a girlfriend. What about the rest of us?
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That is part of the reason where it's just like I don't really give a fuck about that one.
See? You see how selfish she is, Chad? My god.
What? Well, I don't know. I didn't realize you were at the point where you're considering love spells, Polly.
Well,
that's a bit sad.
Well, I'm not, but chat might be interested.
Chat, if you're at the point in your life where you're really
You are asking the divine forces for a favor, so try to dress with a certain amount of reverence. If there won't be anyone around, some Wiccans swear by performing magic in the nude. Wow.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that's a thing apparently. Moving on.
Meditate until your mind is clear. Do some basic deep breathing to improve your focus and discard distracting desires. Hey, wait a minute. Do you think women might be able to do naked dancing on YouTube and just call it religious practices? Don't censor me?
Yeah, probably. I mean, there has to have been.
Let's see. Anoint yourself with proper oils. Different essential oils can be used for different purposes.
Oh my god, essential oils. Holy shit, the MLMs have come for Wicca.
So,
Trying to sell a fucking oils to Wiccans.
so if you'd like to find one or more that seem appropriate and dab a little with your fingers on your forehead and perhaps your hands, hair, face and chest as well. Yeah, that's right.
Yep, it's a fucking MLM scam.
Oil that chest, baby. Nice and slow.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
hell
is.
yeah.
I'm waiting to see like a Scentsy link somewhere. Like, yeah, you can get your essential oils here. Fuck, man.
Purify your space. If you're going to be working inside, make sure you won't be disturbed and tidy up the location where you intend to perform your spell. Visualize negative and distracting energies dispersing as you clean. When your space is clean physically, purify it spiritually by burning some incense, sprinkling some salt water or holy water. Really?
Salt water?
What? It says salt water or
No, yeah, I mean holy water. Yeah, that's a bit fucking weird too. Usually you don't hear that with shit, but salt water. So like, what is the whole entire ocean like purified and clean?
Well, you know that. Remember we were reading how to make lunar and solar water before? It was salt. Salt. It's a big thing in Wiccan and pagan rituals. Circles of salt and dashing salt and salt and salt.
Yeah, I mean, I get that part of it, like in that weird way, like okay, yeah, whatever. But just salt water, because there's an entire ocean there. You know,
ramen
like,
noodles.
It's one thing to like have salt along the door so you don't get like evil spirits in it. It's another thing entirely to be like, I'm gonna scoop up this cup of ocean water and use it for my fucking rituals that will purify the place, you know? I don't know.
Ramen Noodles says they used to think the Bible was a spell book. That's pretty good. That's funny. I like that.
Yeah?
Case person on YouTube says, need some patchouli oil to really get that authentic deadhead experience. Richard Art says, Richard Art makes a point here. You're basically taking away a person's autonomy, so they'll fall in love with thee. So yeah, kind of rapey.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking with it. You know, it is very, very rapey in that sense.
Sinatra says, apparently as a practitioner of Wicca, it's because salt is pure and is supposed to cleanse. Well,
oh, I didn't know Sinatra was a Wicca.
Well, shaka shaka to you, Sinatra. Good morning.
Yeah. Yeah, how's your moon water going?
Don't let the sun touch it. It will spoil it. I read so right here on this very site. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are you more like a solar water sort of guy?
Okay, purify your... Oh, yeah, we read this. Purify your space. Okay. Getting into the pentagrams. Set up a circle...
Oh, shit.
Set up a circle... I'm seriously... I'm a little surprised at the holy water thing. I need to read a little bit more about that.
The holy water thing is still a bit weird, though.
Because the only thing that makes holy water in Roman Catholicism is that it's blessed by a priest, specifically blessed, and under very specific circumstances, I understand when I was reading the catechism one time. If no priest is available, you could still bless it, but the whole point is that it's been blessed in the name of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ fits into the pagan pantheon in a way? That's interesting.
I don't know how that works.
I'd like to hear more about that. That's interesting.
I mean, I get the feeling they mean like holy water in a sense of just someone blesses it. I don't know if they mean it in the same.
Or maybe they're referencing the lunar water we were reading about earlier. That's holy.
Maybe.
Okay,
yeah,
so
maybe it could be. I mean, I don't know though.
you need a consecrated space to perform your ritual. This can either be a circle to protect you from the interference of negative spirits, demons, and energies. An altar to focus your dedication to a specific deity or element, or some combination of these two. You will perform your ritual within the circle, or in front of the altar. Draw a circle big enough to sit in. Wait a minute. This is what Faust did, and it didn't turn out very well for him.
Oh, shit.
Literary joke. Okay, anyway. Draw a circle big enough to sit in, or a 5-pointed star within a circle, called a pentacle. You can draw it physically, or just trace it in the air with your finger or a wand. Hey, you remember when we read how to make a wand?
Yeah, it's all coming together. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
We should get our newfound WikiHow skills and do this ourselves. Test it out.
Visualize protective energy coming out of your arm as you draw, sealing off the circle from in a bubble of light. You can mark cardinal points on the circle or the points of the star with candles, stones, or some kind of other significant objects. Create a small raised platform with, wow, this is getting really ornate. Consider adding candles, crystals, an incense stand, a couple of objects close to you spiritually, a newt, such small heirloom as your book of spells. Oh shit, we gotta read how to do a book of spells. Invoke the divine. Verbally call on a higher power to bless your spell. This can be a general prayer to call on the help of some deity or force, just some deity, doesn't really matter which, or something specific you wrote for this spell. Focus your energy. Bit like that. Let's see. Number 8, give thanks and clean up. Ground away your excess energy by visualize it flowing into the earth. Undraw your circle if necessary. Dismantle your altar. If you're not going to use it again, gather up your tools and leave the space, blah, blah, blah. Considering the occult. Watch the heavens. Some call it astronomy. Jack Gunsky asks a great question. Where's the chicken? See, yeah. You have to know how to like, cut the chicken's head off and let it run around, and what part of the pentacle it stops at will tell you that there's something special going on over there. Then you cut it open and read its entrails. Afterwards, you pour some of its blood upon the altar for a burnt offering to your evil gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. WikiHow. Come on. Step up your game.
Watch the heavens. Many magicians consider the phases of the moon, the time of day, or other astrological configurations to be of great significance in the effectiveness of any spell. For instance, a spell seeking some kind of new beginning should be cast during a new moon, so your wish can come to fruition as the moon becomes full. Some occult research will help you figure out how to optimize the timing for your spells. You could find my book over on Amazon. I'm just kidding, it didn't say that. Coordinate your colors.
Sounds like that.
Colors have different meanings in different magical systems. Once you look up their significance, pick one or two colors that match your intention, and use colored candles or crystals to involve them in your spells. Okay.
There's the crystals.
Yeah. I'm thinking, what would be the color of a love potion? Would it be like red for passion, or is it like that's anger or something?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, would green be jealousy then?
Yeah, I mean, we're running
Or
off of like
what?
basic shit. Like in occult practices, they might have totally different, setups and shit.
Yeah,
in homes.
exactly. Yeah.
Let's see. Use herbs, stones, and natural objects for expert occultists. Experts.
Experts only, guys.
Mm-hmm. All these items seem to have some sort of magical significance. Some sort. Go to your local...
Yeah, they can't even tell you what it is.
Here's the hottest
Like
line of the
some
whole
sort?
thing. You ready for this? Go to your local New Age store to pick up materials that will give power to your spells.
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna say this. If you want to do New Age stuff, Wiccan stuff, that's up to you. But one thing that I've seen from my admittedly distant perspective is that so much of it is nature-oriented. Procure your stuff from nature. Don't get suckered by somebody who wants to sell you something. If you can use the same power objects and get them from nature and it's nature-oriented anyway, do that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, whether you believe this or not, that's a whole other bag.
Right.
That's a whole other bag of fish. But if you're paying a considerable amount of money for this shit, and it's stuff that you could just go into your backyard and get, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, man. At least that
What are you doing?
At least that wand making spell didn't have any money, or wand making instruction set didn't have any money involved in it. They were like,
Yeah.
sure, we laughed when it said ask the tree for its limb.
Yeah. Like, it sounds pretty fucking dumb. But again, whether you believe that or not, that's a whole other bag.
Yeah.
But again, like, if you're paying money for a wand, when there's literally a WikiHow out there telling you how to do it for free,
Yeah.
you need to rethink your life.
The only wand you should be buying is a movie replica. Because you want one that looks
of a Harry Potter wand.
Yeah, like it's like a Harry Potter wand, and you want it to look exactly like that. And you found on Amazon as a movie prop because you think it's cool. Other than that, no, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, we have stuff like that here because, family really liked Harry Potter. But it's like, besides that, there's no other purpose for it. It looks nice.
Cozy up to higher powers. Different occultists calling all sorts of different deities and religious figures to work their magic. Find a system of spiritual symbolism that works for you and invoke those characters in your spells. Just be careful. Some of these spirits have ideas of their own and can twist your intentions if you can't control them. See, she's here. This is I'm going to add my own caption. It's like, I got to get rid of this pentagram thing. I'm hearing demons telling me to kill people.
What? It's Becky?
No, Becky doesn't hear voices. She's just simply irate. It's different.
Oh, okay. So she's not being told by satanic demons to go kill her neighbor Karen?
Or, yeah, you can... Gilcato's got an excellent point. By all means, pay money for a quality Hitachi massager wand. That's another kind of wand. Yeah. Buy quality there, ladies. Number 5, have faith. In the end, casting a spell... is all about directing your mental energies towards a goal. Whether something supernatural occurs because of your spell, stating your goal clearly and in a ritualized way can help your focus, give you a confidence, and make you work harder to make it happen. You just explained away why everything you said previously is nonsense, but okay.
Yeah.
Casting the spell of the shell. This is method number 1. The spell of the shell.
Spell of the shell. What is this going to be about?
Let's see.
Yeah, 1.
Find a shell,
Find
in
a shell in
shallow water. Take it and dry it well. Why? It's got salt water in it. Isn't that good? Anyway.
Well, if we're sitting in the salt water, so it's pure. It's fine.
This is a simple magic spell to make a general wish come true. Use it to put your intention out into the universe by calling on the power of the waters and the moon. Wow, we've gone full woo-woo. Damn.
Yeah. But what happens though if you don't live near a beach or something?
Go down
You
your
can't
local
go
New
get
Age
a
shop
shell.
and buy one.
Oh, I see. Well, what if you're living in the middle of Australia, you know? Like, what if they don't have a New Age shop in the middle of Australia? These are the questions you gotta ask, Polly.
Let's
How are they gonna find their shells to do their Wiccan spells? How are they gonna cast the spell of the shell?
Pick or create a symbol of your desire and place it on the shell. You can draw your own symbol, or you can look up different symbols that related. I find it hard to believe that in classical Wiccan practice that heart shape has actually got the same meaning that it does in modern Western societies. That's not a very old symbol.
I don't know. I had the feeling that they're using, because this is the same consistent art style, so it's the same girl doing it. So I have a feeling they're just going across the whole thing of, she just really wants this guy to like her, okay?
Right.
You know? So which is probably why the heart is there.
Place the shell at the edge of the ocean or lakeshore, assuming you live anywhere near them, like you pointed out.
Yeah, like, come on.
Set it in a spot where the waves will eventually wash over the shell when the tide comes in. Oh, it's very lunar. The symbol on the shell should be facing upwards, towards the moon. It is lunar. Note the phase of the moon when you do this, using the waxing moon if you want to gain something, and the waning moon if you wish to get rid of something. Oh. Draw a triangle in the sand. Your shell should be in the center of the triangle. Meaningful phrases or words may be drawn into the sand as well. Get fucked, Shirlene! Stay away from my man, bitch! It's...
Fuck you, Karen! She took the kids!
Chant this spell while facing the moon. Focus your wish and try and say the spell with reverence and conviction. Here's the spell. Goddess of moon, earth and the sea, each wish in thy name must come to be. Powers and forces which tides do make, now summon thy waves my spell to take.
Oh my god, that is garbage. That is pure garbage.
I'd like to think that was written up just for the sake of this article and that nobody actually uses that.
I would like to think that too, because there's no way. A goddess of moon, earth, and the sea, each wish in thy name must come to be. Like, powers and forces which tides do make, now summon thy waves, my spell.
So drunk.
It's just
I
like,
cannot get up.
none of that. That's just the most generic shit.
Let me see. Thank you very much, RV8R. For Christmas magic, skip all the New Age stuff and consider ordinary psychedelics instead. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I flipped that around. Point Curation. I apologize. That tip was from Point Curation. For Christmas magic, skip the New Age stuff and consider ordinary psychedelics instead. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, the Native American beliefs, as well as a whole bunch of South Asian communities, were into herbals, psychedelic herbals for religious practices. And don't let anyone ever fool you. The plenty of different orders of Catholic and Eastern Orthodox monks got drunk as fuck for their prayer sessions. I'm not even kidding. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely fucking true.
And did so on purpose. I love, what's his name's line? Thomas Aquinas from the 1200s saying, drink to the point of hilarity. He recommended it. as like a social lubricant to it's a, when you're praying, yeah, it's not stone-faced blackout drunk, but there's nothing wrong with drinking to the point of hilarity and then praying. It's something, yeah, there's lots of traditions of using mind-altering substances of every sort to engage in religious practices. I'm not denouncing it, you know. I'll leave that for the Mormons to do. Sample spells. Oh, here's a love spell, a revenge spell, and a simple success spell. You want to try the revenge spell for fun?
Yeah, let's see what the revenge spell is.
Okay, hold on here real quick. Oops.
Like everything seems super happy, but then you go like the revenge spell. Like, what's that going to entail?
Point Curation says a Norman Rockwell style Christmas is greater than Wiccan type stuff. Yeah, it depends on how straight laced and stodgy your family though is. You can feel like, I know some people are like, they're dreading Christmas. They love Christmas, but they're really not looking forward to sitting around with like their seriously stuffy, judgmental family. So it's kind of like, oof, that sucks, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen some Norman Rockwell paintings, man, where it's like no one in this painting looks like they're having any kind of fun, like at all.
Yeah, I don't actually know what we're doing for Christmas this year. No idea.
Point Creation says even Christian type and Advent related Christmas has meaning. Of course it does. Absolutely it does. Let's see. I've talked about this with Far, and we're kind of on the same page with this. I don't mind anyone practicing anything, researching anything, looking into anything. It's when you practice something that doesn't have an underlying worldview or belief system even generally. It's just vague, new age malarkey.
It's once it starts getting into this level of shit where it's just like, it can be whatever you want it to be. That's when it's like, come on.
Well, okay, and Moonshock, actually, I just had to scroll back here a bit, and because he asked a couple of good questions. What in the hell is woo-woo? Is that as fucking stupid as the word yeet that I'm seeing everywhere now? Please say no. I can't stand hearing people say yeet. It sounds completely retarded. Well, yeet. I don't know if that means in addition to woo-woo. Yeet, you don't know what it means, so sorry if I'm telling you something you already mean, but yeet means like to rapidly get rid of, to cast out, right? With contempt, like to get rid of it with disgust.
Means, so.
And woo woo is I don't know what the origin of that is. It's just like it's a reference to things that are malarkey, that are hokum, that are they're senseless spirituality. It's you know, like, eerie in a corny. Yeah, honestly. It's eerie in a corny way. Like, oh, I'm going to put on this power crystal and it's going to ward off the demons that are following me around, or new age stuff like you have to put your positive intentions into the universe and so forth. That's woo-woo shit. Or
JR crystals, you know?
Yeah.
It's all woo-woo.
So, I wanted to... Yeah, if you hate the word yeet, now's not the time to... If you hate the word boomer, now's not the time to be on the internets, you know?
Yeah, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that actually reminds me. Oh, I have a tweet that I should show you. That's just like, it's amazing how dumb
Richard Art says,
can be.
I know a revenge spell. It's called a gun. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Jesus, man. That's a pretty hardcore revenge spell you got there.
Here's the sample revenge spell. We all have problems with undesirable people in our lives. This spell, cast properly, can bring them just the right amount of misfortune without causing any permanent damage. Be careful, though. Black magic in general is the least stable of the schools, and the easiest to reverse on the caster. Keeping that in mind, here are the instructions. Moon phase. Half or quarter, at most. Any more and you risk harming or targeting yourself. Mental imagery. Anger, annoyance, frowning faces, distrustful faces, broken chain links, cold, red and black. Oh, so my daily mental field. Okay, got it. Where to cast? Indoors. Casting outdoors increases the risk of assigning the spell to the wrong person. Make sure the moon is in full view the whole time. No cloudy nights.
So being indoors guarantees it goes to the right person? What's the logic behind that? Like, either way, it's gonna have to go outside.
What happens if someone's walking beside your room outside?
To a family member.
Like you're in your living room doing it, and there's
like
the garbage man happens to be walking down the street right outside the wall. Like, couldn't it get him to him? Or does like lumber and drywall and shit block spells?
House? Is this supposed to be like aiming someone in your house, like your bratty little sister or something? You know?
Yeah.
I don't understand how that makes it better or worse.
Actually, point curation, like all jokes aside, makes it an interesting point here. The reason I suggest psychedelics is being brutally exposed to the underlying structures to tradition and noticing their importance. Yeah, things that have been around for a hell of a long time tend to have importance. Something that's been around for 2,000 years isn't likely to be completely full of shit. There's meaning there, and if you find that meaning through psychedelics, good on you. Be careful. If you find it through meditation or focus, good on you. If you find it through intense study, all the more power to you. I just get frustrated with people that are like, there's absolutely no meaning to that. Yeah, right. All those people were living under a huge delusion, and only you have seen the clarity. I mean, that just annoys me.
Yeah.
Looking at you, TJ Kirk. Anyway.
I'm not saying like, oh, religion is the best thing out. Like, no, not at all. It's one of those things. It depends on who you are, if it works for you. But at the same time, it's like, with this kind of shit, honestly, in comparison, I have a bit more respect towards cults than this, because at least cults have some form of belief system most of the time.
As wacky as it might be, yeah, it's...
Yeah, as wacky as it might be, they still at least have something, like some form of structure going on. You know? Whereas this, it's just kind of like, again, like whatever you want it to be, you know?
Oh, wait a minute. Richard R. makes an interesting point. Ooh-woo.
Oh, ooh-woo.
Do you think that's what Moonshock thought we were saying? Not woo-woo, but ooh-woo?
Maybe. Okay, woo-woo and ooh-woo are two very different things, my dude. Just saying.
And don't ask me to explain ooh-woo. I can't. I just annoy Inquisitor with it.
Ooh-woo is cringy, but I love it. It's just so dumb.
By the way, if you want to bust Quiz's balls, Inquisitor's balls, go to Twitter right now and just type an ooh-woo at him. He loves it. He's a huge...
Yeah, he loves ooh-woo.
It doesn't drive him red-faced with anger at all. Not
at all.
Poor guy.
It'll be the most delightful thing for him to wake up to. I can guarantee it. If he's not awake already.
Okay, where to cast? Indoors. Casting outdoors can increase the risk of assigning the spell to the wrong person. Make sure the moon is in full view the whole time and that you are absolutely alone. Casting this, especially if you're nude, right? Casting the spell casting a spell with an accident or listener, or peeping Tom, could have serious consequences for everyone involved. Use a black candle with this spell, but only one. Suggested wording. Oh, this is where it gets deep. I need revenge.
Oh, shit.
I need revenge on this black day.
Getting starting.
To make my troubles go away. A curse, a pox, a chanted hex. Anyone should do to make you, blank, understand the hurting caused by you. Wow. That just sounds like you're shaking your fist in anger at someone that pissed you off.
Yeah, this is like old man yells at cloud, you know?
Hey!
There's a spell.
Monkey's not streaming anymore. You leave him out of this. Now.
Oh shit, I'm not doing... Oh my god. Okay.
I love you, Monkey. It was a joke. Okay, tips for casting. Please, above all else, make sure this spell is used responsibly and in moderation. Serious problems should be Hold on.
By non...
There we go. Serious problems should be meditated on by non-magical authorities, like the court system or mediated, excuse me.
Oh my god. Yeah, that guy murdered your best friend. Yeah, maybe go to the cops before you start casting revenge spells.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
You also risk incurring the rule of 3 if you overdo the spell, or if you use it in a way inconsistent with the general use of black magic. it requires more revenge than you'd be willing to take in person, we strongly advise you to forget this one altogether. If not, you'll wish you did it later. We promise. Final thoughts. There's little good that can come from using black magic outside of the occasional diversion, which is why we gave you detailed instructions on how to accomplish it here. We all know this.
Yeah, I know, right?
We all know.
We don't want you to do this thing, but we're going to give you detailed instruction how to do the thing. Like, wow. WikiHow. Fucking wow.
We all know the success stories of those qualified in the black arts. We do.
Why don't you enlighten us on those stories? Like, I don't fucking know what they are.
And some of those people may not have seen the effects of their selfish work yet. Dun dun dun.
Yet. Okay. Was this helpful to you?
Do you feel enlightened, chat?
I do feel enlightened, Polly. I feel very enlightened.
That was good stuff. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't piss off any of the bartenders or bar patrons, bar goers.
Yeah, I don't think we have. It doesn't look like it.
And we did that one.
Press 1 in chat if you're pissed off, because we shit on Wicca. Press 2 if Epstein didn't kill himself.
All right.
Let's just wait for that to come through.
Yeah. The flood.
Yes, I see you are solid for Epstein didn't kill himself.
I am. Hey, Chad, is Alex still streaming? I'm curious as to what's going on with the poor guy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I guess I could go check. Oh, look at all these twos. Isn't it beautiful?
Yep. Tommy Teddy, I feel thirsty. Irish coffee, please. Done. Done and done. Actually, Irish cream is good for Irishing up lots of stuff.
So drunk.
It's pretty useful. Thank you very much for the tip, ex Baba Hotep. Thank you for the $2. I feel this WikiHow was written after watching the movie The Craft once.
Yeah, he finished a while ago, Polly, so he's not still going.
Wandering Lisa says, "Oh, I am so offended." Puts hand to the back of hand to the forehead, and pretending to faint. Yeah, well, it's okay. I've got smelling salts behind the bar. We'll be able to revive you.
Jeez. Just don't snort the smelling salts, otherwise you will eat people's faces.
Yeah, well, could Brian Wilson and Delahaye say that he finished? Cynical Lindsay said he finished. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. He stopped.
Oh, okay, I was
40
just.
minutes ago.
Okay, I was looking at something. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that no actual doxing or other stupidity comes out of this.
Yeah, hopefully. Like, that's pretty fucking dumb. If this is over Shanty, come on.
Shanty.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right, Shanty. Shanty.
Bubba. Or Jabba.
Jabba, really?
Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, no, I get where you're going with it, but I kind of prefer the Shanty one. That's clever. That's more clever.
All right, we'll go with Shanty. Broken down, dilapidated as she is.
Yeah, see? Shanty.
Jack Gunsky says, I haven't gotten up for 6 a.m. in a long time. Who the fuck invented 6 a.m.? 6 a.m. has two meanings. I've come to understand, Jack Gunsky. And the one you're referring to, you're right, is bad. It's really bad. The other one, the proto-dawn 6 a.m., is where you haven't slept yet. Oh, that reminds me, Ebony Williams said like an hour and a half back, like, how the hell haven't you slept yet, Polly? And I'm like, oh.
Proto-dawn.
Yeah, proto-dawn. That's how.
Proto-dawn.
Guys, I a lot of people ask me that. Like, how the fuck do you, like, what's with your sleeping schedule? And, like, Far's going to bed for the rest of the night. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go catch a nap. And it's like 3 hours of sleep. Like, I sleep at like 2-3 hours at a stretch a couple times during the day. It's because I refuse to get into habit-forming sleeping prescriptions because that's just bad news, man. You don't want to go down that way. Chuck Your Logic says, clickbait, this isn't late night. Yes, it is. Far, what time is it where you're at?
11 p.m.
That's late night.
Yeah. Yeah. It's getting to that point where it's like, oh shit, yeah, it is getting late. You know?
But they do make a good point. I think it's time to wind up the bar and
Yeah.
push all the drunks out into the street for the night. So everybody finish what's in your cup or glass or flute or mug.
Yeah, oh, although I do have one more thing, just as a
Sure.
fucking dumb shit.
Sure.
So there was a tweet I found today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I found this hilarious just for how dumb it was. And it's this woman going, just a thought. Instead of boomers, try the same sentence with Jews instead. See where that takes you. See how you'd like it. See what it says about you. Cheers. And it's like... and the first response you see that I saw for one of these things, it was just, okay, Jew.
Yeah, that's the one that came to mind right away. I mean,
okay, Jew.
it's a little blunt, but I don't really think comparing religious or ethnic affiliation with, I mean...
It's pretty fucking dumb. Like,
Well,
that's why I immediately, when I saw it, I'm like, excuse me, what the fuck? And it's like...
You're making the meme happen. You're lending
Yeah.
the meme strength by saying dumb shit like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then, for some reason, though, a bunch of people started responding to her as, calling her Chungus. So you just have a bunch of people going, like, sending the Chungus image and, like, or saying, thank you, big Chungus.
What the hell's a chongas?
It's like the fat, Bugs Bunny. You ever
What?
see that? It's like
The fat the real fat female bunny that was chasing bugs?
No, just the fat bunny. That's I think it's Bugs Bunny. I don't really know the context of it. I just know it's the fat Bugs Bunny.
I'm gonna have
It's
to look
just
it up.
Chungus.
Wandering Lisa wants a yard of whiskey before you go. We don't give doggy bags that are the size of a goon bag. Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
The authorities will know where you got it from, and we're already operating an illegal saloon here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does bring us to a close for our evening
Yeah.
tonight. But we will have many more as Yuletide continues on. And don't let anyone tell you different. We adhere to the 12 days of Christmas here at Polly's Place, the Noir Bar. Christmas only ends on Epiphany, which is January 6th. So we got lots of time to festivize together. I would like to thank everybody for keeping us all company tonight and keeping each other company in chat. It's always fun to see you guys come by and hang out. I'd like to definitely thank Far for keeping me company at the bar. Always appreciated. You can find links to her super cool merch store beneath. Go check it out. And even if you don't want to buy something, share it on Twitter. That type of engagement is huge. That's how things spread really quick. The type of engagement of you guys just talking in chat or putting comments and questions below. If you're listening in the future, by all means, ask questions. Talk about what you want us to cover, what you don't want us to cover, what type of liquor you like, all sorts of things. I get a chance to read all the comments and respond to most of them. And I have a lot of fun doing it. I love hearing what you guys think. And lastly, and certainly not least, I want to thank everybody who tipped the bartender. Expo Bahotep, Point Curation, RVA Dar, Expo Bahotep again, wow, Jack Polly again, and Unholy Reaper. You guys rock in a big way. Seriously, I could prattle on and on about how much I appreciate it because I sincerely do. Well, that's it. And as we always say about this time after last call, you don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. So, have a good night, and we'll see you here again. Later, everyone.
Night. Epstein didn't kill himself.
No, he did not.